Sound check, check.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I can hear you.
Thank you. All right,
Awesome.
second.
All right, we're just doing some tests. And we're gonna start shortly.
Well, good afternoon. In about 2 minutes, a little bit more people, but I'd like to wish y'all a good afternoon. Lachey, Marvin, Clark, Mark Barnhill, Maria, Concord. Just good afternoon to all of y'all. Mhm.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hope y'all's day's going perfect. It's been kind of slow, but everything's living.
So today we're gonna answer some of the questions that y'all asked to the Facebook group. So that's the first way we'll start it off.
All right, I'm all ready. Okay, so from one of the customers, they asked, review on how to take a template from Etsy and set it as a template. Well, oof, might be. Okay, so whenever you buy a template from Etsy, normally it's going to be a PNG file. So all you're going to have to do with that PNG file, which normally will be in your downloads folder. And just a little example will be in your file manager down here, and then downloads. And then you'll find the PNG that the person or well, whoever gave it to you. And then all you're going to do is just more or less make a new template. So we're going to go into output. Depends on the template. So if it's a screen template, you'll just go to screens and then just click on choose. Here, let me not use this one. This is for another example. Let's use, let me make a duplicate. Okay, so to make a template from Etsy, all you're going to do is just press choose, then click on new. And this is one thing I also have to make kind of clear. If you have a Fusion or a black tie, any of those use a Surface Pro, you have to make sure that your template size matches your screen resolution. That's just one thing I always like to bring up. Your screen resolution to get to check on what size it is. Here, give me a second. You'll go to your desktop, right click, and then display settings. It's on my second screen. And then just scroll down a bit where it says display resolution. You have to match it to what resolution is given. Normally on like Chloe's or mirrors, it's already automatically set to 1920 by 1080. So just make sure if you have like a black tie, white tie, any of the ties, that it's set to the right resolution, or it will just come out weird. It'll come off cut off, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And make sure it's set to horizontal. Unless you're a mirror, then it'll be vertical. Okay, and then just press OK. So really all the template is just a PNG. So you just press on add artwork down here. I don't have one, but I'm just going to press a random picture. So then you're going to click on browse. And then, as I said, anytime you download a template from Etsy or well, whatever template you bought it from, it will be in your downloads folder. If you aren't here automatically, which you should be, you will go over here on the left side where it says this PC and then downloads.
And
Uh,
tell us, by the way, for going too fast, guys. If you're following, if you have like any
Oh,
questions, yeah, just
no, yeah,
everyone following so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
okay. Yeah, just throw a question in if you're falling a little bit, behind. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna use our PBI logo because that's what I have downloaded right now. Just gonna double click it, and then yeah. Normally I would recommend putting it on fixed. It really, I mean, it's just for the background. Then just press OK. And normally I would also click on the top here where it says size, and then fill within, no, here, let's fill entire page. Since, as you saw here, I don't know if I showed it, but the PNG I'm using is 1024 by 768. As I said earlier, whenever you do buy a template from Etsy, they're going to ask you for your screen resolution, most likely. So make sure you do say that, as I said earlier, in your Windows settings, that's either 1920 by 1080, or if it's again, a black tie or white tie, any of the ties, anything with a Surface Pro, I think it's like 20 something, 27, I forgot. But just make sure that you do get the proper size for this template.
That goes the same way if y'all are creating the templates from Canva, let's say, or any other software.
Mhm.
You make sure you get the right size for your screen, of course, the right size for the graphic that you're creating, just so it'll fit in nicely.
Perfect. And I've noticed that people with the ties are saying, like, if they use a sample, like, again, this is just something for ties. Whenever they use the Zack and Sarah, the one that comes with Darkroom, they say that the Zack and Sarah part's cut off or there's a white bar on the top. Again, it's because the edit screen part right here. It's just a wrong thing. Oh, also it says Surface Pro 3. It was 2060 by 1440. Make sure of that. Very critical, because if you're on the wrong resolution and you start creating all this, it's going to come out really funky. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say you have your template here and now you put the artwork. All you're really going to do is they'll have their own little dedicated spots to put them on, so you're just going to have to align them. So add photo. Let's do the 3 ones for now. Just going to align them. Here's rows and columns. For the vertical, obviously it's only going to be 1 row and 4 columns, so it'll just be going this way. I got a little mixed up. And just the other way, would think it would be 4 rows, 1 column. Yep, and all you're gonna do is just align them to where the template's at. It's from there, it should be pretty simple. A little easy process. Whenever they do make the PNGs, most likely they're gonna ask you what you want on like the wording. Let's say it says Mark and Gracie's wedding. You also have to specify what you want to write in them. They'll be editing it. I'm pretty sure they'll also cover on what you want to write, anything different. Yeah. Let's see here. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Let me know. I don't need to save it. Okay, next question is general darkroom software tips for Chloe booth. So who here has a Chloe? Well, I guess.
Michelle does.
Hi, Michelle. Okay, so have any specific Chloe questions that just pop in right now?
I have a question.
Mhm.
For some reason, when I start my photo booth, and then I try to get out of it again, like for example, press escape, like to get out,
Mhm.
it won't get out. Like it just stays on the photo booth session.
Okay, so you're just kind of like stuck.
Yeah.
Let me think. Let me see here. For that, I mean, before you start the booth, I would say check your controls. So up here, go to controls and make sure that escape exits booth mode is on. That's one of the things I would recommend. And I think the other thing would be if you locked your booth. So over here in global settings, then application options, I believe here. No, even then it shouldn't ask you for it. just most likely I would say make sure that your escape exit photo booth mode is on, but it should just let you out. And if you are stuck, would you like to know like a bit of an emergency tip?
Yes.
On your keyboard, if you see the Alt button and the Tab button, it'll pop up with this menu. You can just while holding Alt, how say it? Sorry, if you press Alt Tab and just keep holding Alt, then this will pop up. All you're gonna do is just click on these X's. Like I can close setting from here or just anything. But that's a good way to escape it if you are stuck instead of just turning off your booth.
You said it was Alt and Tab?
Yes, but keep holding Alt so it doesn't close out. So after you
Okay.
press Alt Tab, just hold Alt and then use your
Okay.
mouse.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, and I believe the other Chloe tip I always recommend. Over here on the cameras option over here, up here, camera. Make sure that your Chloe is set to MJPEG as the video compression. And the frame size is 1920 by 1080. If you don't have these, then whenever you have live view, it's gonna look very laggy, framey. You understand. Let's see, another
The
Chloe
camera
tip.
properties.
Oh yes, thank you. Over here on the camera properties.
That's what I was gonna ask, because I did a, this is Michelle. I
Mhm.
did a, like a little sample picture playing with it, and it seems like the picture came out not really clear.
Okay, so the picture did not come really clear. By chance, was this outside? Was it an outside event
It was,
or
no, it was inside. It was
inside
inside my house, yeah.
with
So I don't
lighting?
know if it's maybe just the, my house, or not enough lighting, or I don't know.
Like with it not coming clear, just trying to make sure. Like, was it too dark, too bright, just too like
Blurry.
blurry? Yeah,
It was a little blurry, and it was a little too dark for my liking. But
gotcha.
I did see where you could lighten it, so that did help after the fact.
Mhm.
So
Um,
for the Chloe's here, let me give a quick example. I can just use my camera. Give me a quick second. Okay. Oh. All right. So as you see, my camera is here. Normally, if you ever want to mess with the settings, using the camera option in Windows is a good way to check it. Here, I'm trying to keep it up. So if it's too blurry, I would say normally you don't have to mess with focus, but uncheck mark this. And depending on what's going on, I would say play with the focus a bit, just so you can kind of get an understanding. I'm just gonna make it crazy, and then you should see my camera's blurry. Was it something like this, or I mean, a little bit like this?
it wasn't that bad.
I know, sorry. I just made it crazy just as an example, but yeah, I would say try to uncheck auto. Normally autofocus is perfect. There's no issues really. But again, I would say kind of play with it. Let's say 44, made it a little bit more clearer. So depending on what's going on, I would say mess with the focus setting mainly. And the other one is exposure. Exposure, how to say it? I'm just gonna give you a quick example. As you see now, it's dark. Another option for exposure is like kind of like lighting. And I don't like to use the brightness too much because I don't know if you notice with brightness, it could come out kind of ugly at certain times,
Yeah.
like grainy-ish in a way.
Yeah.
So try to mess with your exposures. Well, it's something you really have to play around with. Normally -3, I think it's the default, but I increase my brightness. Now I'm too bright. Let's see. And there's always a default option here if you go too much.
Okay.
Like now my exposure is a little bit more higher, and now you can see
Yeah.
more brightness. But yeah, I would say try messing with the focus option and the exposure option.
Awesome.
Okay, and you said to uncheck focus.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, uncheck focus if you like to mess with it, but normally autofocus is good, but at certain times I see why you have to play with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, we always recommend, just so you can do it as well, because of course it depends, as Richard mentioned, it depends on like the events. If it's like dark, if it's really lighted up, so you can always go early on the event just so you can be ready and you can play with the settings. So
Oh, also, sorry, one more thing about the blurriness. Sharpness would be another thing. Now, here, sorry, I'm just gonna do one more example. I just closed my camera. Okay, so sharpness is another thing that could also help with the blurriness. As the name states, it just makes it sharper. But obviously, if you make it too sharp, it's gonna look, well, ugly. Now you see like kind of like grainy parts everywhere. I swear this is not how it look. But yeah, try messing with sharpness as well. Sorry, that just clicked my mind for a bit.
So DJ Supe has a question.
Oh,
How
sorry.
do we make the emoji selection icon bigger for guests or the Chloe booth as well?
Gotcha. Oh, and I'm sorry. I saw before, sorry, DJ Soupy. Grace Williams also raised her hand before, if that's okay. Here, give me a quick second. Grace, did you have a question?
Can you hear us, Grace? Is she here?
I
Uh,
okay. Let's continue. So how to make the emoji section selection icon bigger for the guests. So this is with booth edit mode, nothing else, correct?
I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but just when it's time for the guest to, edit their photo, if they choose to, the icon that pops up on the right with all of my, emojis, emoticons, or whatnot. That little icon there is pretty small, and just wondering if there's a way to resize that, or the selection of emoticons are quite small. Just wondering if there is a option for that.
Okay. That is a new one for me. I would actually have to look into it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm so sorry. How could you be able to add that for? So for next week, I'll be able to cover this. I just gotta look more into it. I actually do not know the answer for that.
Yeah.
I'll be for sure try to. I'll make sure I get this answer done, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
and to
I was wondering if,
confirm,
okay.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was wondering, I had another question unless you wanted to add on to that.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah. I was wondering, I was having trouble getting videos sent, little short videos. I used one of the, I had, edited one of the video templates. And because I think the template that's there, it actually just says thank you at the end. It doesn't provide an option to email or text. So I contacted someone at Darkroom Booth Support, and they said to install the FFmpeg plugin. And I installed that, and I still couldn't get it to work. Seems like the photos were sending okay. The videos were not. And I was just wondering if there was something else I might be missing.
Okay. And I'm just gonna double check. So do you have the photo of the phone and email option both enabled? I'd imagine.
Yes, because I didn't know if there was a different option for the video, because the photos work fine. It'll email and text photos fine. So when just trying to email a video, because I imagine maybe it was just the fact that maybe videos might be too big for text. I just tried email the same way I did with photos. Photos come in fine, video doesn't.
Well, I'm just gonna make sure of one thing. So in photo email, make sure that this is weird, but you have to make sure that it's on medium size. Did you already change that to medium?
No, I didn't. I don't believe so. No.
Okay, so I know that we've already not answered this, but I've had this question before. But for some reason, Darkroom has an issue sending out videos specifically, or well, I guess you could say GIFs on full size, or well, I guess custom size. But normally medium size is like the perfect size for videos, and it's able to send using medium size. And obviously make sure that enable animations is on. And then you would go into settings and also make sure that's on MP4. That's just a little other tip. Make sure it's MP4 just so you can keep the quality of the video on there. If you make a GIF, it's gonna look, well, like a GIF, kind of blurry, makes it a lot more smaller. So I would say try that. And same goes for the photo of the phone option. Make sure it's medium size and also enable animations, and the MP4 file, as you said, was on GIF. Just make sure it's MP4. So I
All
would say,
right, cool.
okay. All right, and just trying to think of anything else. Yeah, okay. Now, the other question I had was help on setting up a green screen. Okay, let me see here. I should have one already pre-prepared. I can make a new one. Yeah, okay. So I made a green screen option before this, but I'm just gonna do a quick rundown. So once you press on, I can make a new one. It's not bad. So I'm just gonna
Is
make
this for all booths? I apologize.
Oh yeah, no, this is for all booth. Any
Okay.
darkroom stuff, it's all booth. All right. So I'm just gonna type in green for now. Just make sure if your booth is horizontal, horizontal. If it's a mirror, normally it's vertical. But I'm gonna go for horizontal because that's what I'm using. I'm just gonna do a black background temporarily. Okay. So to make a green screen, you have to make sure that your screen and also template are both in green screen, like a green screen option. So for now, let's do just add photo. Do multiple ones.
And just to ask, everyone's familiar with green screen, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Normally, I know I saw a pretty good green screen option before. It's like a template where people take their photos, they hide behind grass. So it's like a foreground image and then a background image. So they're in the center of it. I don't know. It's like a really cool idea, especially for Halloween. Let's say you get a pumpkin patch template and you want the people to stand behind the grass in the template. You could actually do that
Yeah.
using a green screen. Oof.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Mhm.
and you can also like let's say you don't have a background, not really a nice background, but you have, let's say, a green one, as Richard mentioned. If you, let's say, you have a blue one, you can actually create it's basically a virtual background that y'all can be in. Let's say it's a Harry Potter theme. Y'all could be in Hogwarts or in a castle or whatever. So you can actually fully customize it, and so that's what Richie is mentioning about green screen.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to set this up. I misclicked something. All right.
It's crazy.
Make it black. I don't know. I've seen some pretty cool green screen templates. I don't know. I just love them. Really creative though. All right. So make sure. So let's say you want a live view. Whenever you click on add live view, you have to make sure the chroma key option is selected to make this work. Everything has to be chroma key. Just keep that in mind and it should be fine. Just gonna do a little quick example. So I want my live view here. Let's shrink that down. And then for the photos, man, I'll put it over here. Add photos, just one row, one column. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But again, as I said earlier, go into options here. Then where it says chroma key. Make sure chroma key is selected on any type of live view or photos to make this work. Too big, whatever. Just trying to do a quick example. And now your screen is set. This is just for your screen, your event. Let me just make sure any type of photos or live view is set to chroma key. We'll save this. That's fine. Just like that. Then you're gonna have to go into output. Same goes for your template. I'm just gonna use this one for now. It's fine. That was an accident. Okay. Oh, great, lost it. So you're gonna click on add photos, go to options and make sure it's set to chroma key. I made way too many. All right. So once it's set to chroma key, that's way too big, might be. You're more or less ready and set. There is one last option. Yeah, okay. I just added two, might be. But yeah, as long as your live view and photos are set to chroma key, then the green screen will be ready to go. And yeah, that's about really much for green screen. And yeah, the green screen is pretty easy to set up. It's really just make sure that chroma key is set on live view and photos, but that's how you set up a green screen. Oh, did I see it? I missed a chat, didn't I? Oh no. Okay. And now the other question I had was, give me a quick second. Yeah.
And for everyone, I just Also sent an example of a green screen on the messages portion of Zoom, so you can check that out. You know, if you want to be on the beach, you can do that using green screen. So yeah, as Richard mentioned, it's pretty cool.
All right, sorry. All right, and I also got a question on how to add virtual props to Mirror Boost screen and how much addition. Oh, that's a little bit more business. I actually wouldn't know on how much it would be to charge a customer for this service for virtual props. But I can teach you how to set up a virtual prop. Now, to get started, I did make one earlier, but I will go through it on what I did. Here it is. I'm gonna go into output. So for virtual props, oh yeah, before anything, make sure before anything you go into text, scroll down, I'm right here. Down here, make sure review photo is selected. Make sure that's check mark and ready. Then make sure enable booth edit. And if you want, normally people also turn on photo doodle. It's just another little customization thing. Just make sure these two, or just, well, make sure booth edit is on for virtual props. And then we're gonna go into output. And now for now, I'm using this as an example, but in your output, just make sure that, sorry, I'm just getting stuck. I'll hide this. Now, all right. So as you see here, this is my virtual prop, but there's actually multiple photos in this one. For now, I'm going to delete this and just start over. So down here, you're going to click on add artwork and make sure floating right here is set, well, is selected, and also use as boost sticker. Make sure these two are selected. It has to be floating if you want to actually drag it around. And I would also recommend, well, it's normal, but use a graphic list. What a graphic list is, it's basically where you can have multiple photos in one, so it's a lot more easier to select as many emojis, as many prop cutouts, as much as you want. Then you're going to click on edit, and you can name it anything really, stickers for now. And all you're going to do is click on add, and then you're going to find the pictures or where you install them. Again, whenever you install like an emoji or something, it's in your downloads folder. So this PC and downloads. And here I have a sum, but I also recommend using a, how to say it? What do you call those things? Oh, sorry. Make a folder on your desktop if you would like, and name it like something like graphics. For me, I put in my documents, and then you could just select all the pictures that you got in from here. So you just select them all and then press open. And I'm not going too fast, am I? Is everyone still caught up?
So everyone everyone knows what the props are, the virtual props. So it's basically like a physical props, but you add it like after you get the photo. Let's say uh it's basically like a sticker on the photo. You can actually add any like images on the photo itself. Let's say you want to place in a cute heart on the photo. They can actually do that. You'll just actually need to set it up before the event, before it starts. If you want to add like a cute props, let's say uh the bride and the groom, you can do that. It's like a yes, stickers on the photos.
And for now, I'm just adding 2 pictures, and then you're going to press OK. And now you have those 2 pictures selected as your stickers. And now for this, I mean, I'm just going to resize it down, but you can put this anywhere. They're not going to be able to really see this until the booth edit pops up. And just make sure it's selected as boost sticker and floating. Then you're going to press OK and then save. Same thing. Choose, and as an example, a second. Start booth. Hey. And now this will pop up. And as you see here, now you see that little face, you're going to click it. And now you see my 2 pictures that I added. And that's how you use booth edit. And the other thing I forgot to stress out is anytime you do like use any stickers, and make sure they have a transparent background. So it's basically like a cutout. So
Yeah.
like, you know, just the circle, but there's nothing in the background. Make sure it's a cutout, or you're gonna have like a black bar around it. Normally, yeah, sorry. And the other thing is, I think Pao, would you like to explain the other thing I forgot?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So let's say you have a picture of your props, or let's say you have something, let's say from a website. Let's say you bought props, virtual props on a website. Let's say, can you Richie, save, let's say, one image on Google. Let's say we bought it.
Okay, give me a quick second.
And this is again, if you bought the props, if you, let's say, took a photo of your physical props, you can do this.
Just gonna go for. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still saving the picture.
Yeah.
Had to find one. I just found this funny.
You can share the Chrome as well. I guess it's on yours.
Oh
Other
yeah,
screen.
sorry. That was creepy. But yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna move this over here. All right. So I downloaded a picture.
Can you open the photo just so everyone can see?
Yep. There it is.
You-
Ooh, open up everything.
You can see here, guys, that there's like white on like the sides of it. It like on the circle, outside the circle. So if you actually add that in without removing the background, that'll appear on the photo, which is, a square, which, isn't really good. And the same goes for props. Let's say if it's rectangle, if it's a square, the background would really appear. Now here's one site. Can you go back to Chrome, Richie?
Oh yeah. I already
it's
clicked in.
Yep, it's remove.bg. You can actually remove backgrounds here from your photos. So if you upload the image,
To my downloads, and here it is.
then it'll just process for you. Now you can see there where it's gray and white for the background. It means the background is removed already. That's the time that when you add it in darkroom, it'll appear circle already. Now, can you download it so we can test it out?
Yep. And just make sure whenever you do use photos that you make sure that's like license free, or make sure just it's licensed. That's the other thing to stress out.
Yeah.
But I did download it, and now I could just add it to my graphics list.
Can you add, Richie, both of them? The one before the edit and after the edit, just so everyone can see as well?
Yes, sir. So here's the actual, and then here's the remove BG one. I'm gonna open that and press OK. Save it. And now you should be able to see a difference. It did bring you over the person who made it. So just an example, but normally, I mean, if you do buy one, but they left the background on, you can cut it off using the remove BG. It won't have the watermark, but it's watermarked. Ah, ugly photo. Okay. And now you see one's a lot more cut out, still has a watermark, while the other one
Oh, yeah.
still has the white background. And the white background is something we don't want. I'm moving my photo. Oh well. But you do see the difference. And I see
I
someone.
think Canva has